Now, I know it might seem a little early to be doing Christmas things, but for me, it's never too early. And I want to test this out because J Diction have kindly sent me their new pack of super golden markers. Now, as you know, I love their liquid mirror markers, and I've been asking them for a long time, is there any way we can get some more colours? So they've sent me these, and these are going on sale. They're either on sale now or they're going on sale very soon, and I want to test them because I absolutely love things done in these markers, and I have found they are very, very popular. So why not try it with some Christmas decorations first? Now, I'm going to do these in Resincrete. I'm sure that these will work perfectly well on resin. We'll be able to test that out at some point as well. And we're going to try different colours this time. Colours we've not done before. I've got 4 here. I wish they'd put the colours on them somewhere. Maybe they have. Maybe they haven't. It's because they think no one's colourblind. So I'm going to have to go and find out what colours these are. So I've been and found out blue, purple, red and green. And I've not used those colours before. I'm going to be using Resincrete for this because I think Resincrete makes amazing ornaments. And also, I find people really like the feel of them and feel they've got something that's quality for their Christmas tree as opposed to having resin. I'm not going to make them as thick as these are because I don't think I need to. So I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Resincrete, as always, you mix it up by weight. So if you've got 100 grams or 100 whatever ounces of Resincrete, then you use 30 grams or 30 ounces of water. So I'm going to be using 150 grams on my first mix. So I need 45 grams of water. If you add a little bit more water, all it's going to do is extend the amount of time it takes for it to cure. But you don't want to overdo it because you want to make sure it's going to cure properly. Now I'm going to give that a mix until all that powder is mixed into that water. And it doesn't take long at all. But make sure you've got no lumps. If you've got any lumps, just push them against the side. Right, I think that's all mixed up. I am going to have to mix up some more, I think, because I don't think I've mixed up enough. Pour that in gently. So it's about halfway. Give it a bit of a shake. That's why I work on cardboard, to enable those bubbles to come out and any trapped air. A little bit squidgy widgy if I need it. And the snowflake one, I am going to fill up a little bit more because it's a little bit more fragile. That should be enough for the tree. Bell, I'm going to do so it's only just over this indent. Now these molds are readily available. They're always available every Christmas. I absolutely love these molds and they have always proven to be very popular for me. I will link them in the description below so you can get hold of them. Right, there we go. Oh no, it looks like I have mixed up enough. Well, I don't think I could have done that better if I'd have tried, do you? I'll give them a bit of a shake now. Bit of a tap on the sides. So they should be cured enough to move around in the next 20 minutes. But I'm going to leave them at least a couple of hours because some of these are fragile. And then I'll demold them and I'll show you what they're going to look like. So these have been curing now for a couple of hours. So what I'm going to do is take them out of the molds. Now I'm going to be as gentle as possible because they still will be damp and I don't want to break them. So there we go. We got the reindeer there and it's quite light because we haven't filled that mold up. Now we will have a little bit of shrinkage. You can deal with this one of two ways. You could either sand it or do like I do because I is too lazy to sand it and just take a knife and smooth it out like that. That takes that little bit of shrinkage away. And the reason we got that little bit of shrinkage there that we can see is because we didn't fill the molds up completely. But I don't mind because I think that gives it a nice look. There we go. This is the one that I always break when I take it out, if I take it out too soon. So what I'm going to do is go around and loosen it all up first before I pull it off. Yeah, I've already broken it, look, on that fragile bit. I always do. But that's going to allow me to get it out nice and easy now. It's because this mold isn't really designed for Resincrete. If I'd left this maybe another hour, it probably wouldn't have happened. But you know me. You know how impatient I am. So they're the ones that go on there. Let's get rid of all those bits of dust. Let's take these ones out just in case I break any of these. I shouldn't do because these are not got that little thin bit there. And so is that one. That one's come out lovely. But look how lovely and thin they are. I've actually decided to make another one of these. So I've poured some Resincrete in there. And what I'm going to do is, once it's started to cure up a little bit, I'm going to put these little bits of metal in it. I know I've shown you how to support things before, and that will hopefully give it that extra strength. I want these to be as flat as possible. I think that's going to look better. And I wanted to show you another way of these bits where it attaches. are so thin here, it's very difficult to get it not to break. And these bits are quite bulbous, so when you're taking it out, it's pulling quite hard. Cure up for a bit longer. While that's curing up, I'll just straighten these out as much as I can. Oh, yeah, it's getting there now. So what I can do is get my tweezers. See, it's sitting on that top now because it's cured up a little bit. Pop that in there. Done that one. That in there. It's like adding rebar to it. And now we'll let that cure up. So this second one I poured has now been curing for about 3 hours, and it should be a lot stronger than the previous one. But again, I'm going to try and do it so I don't pull off the bits. It's going to be a case of wishful thinking maybe, but because I'm trying to pull that bit through there, which is that bit there is a lot larger than that, so I need to be able to pull it up rather than pull it out. I think where I'm going wrong. So pull it up like that, and that should come out. Oh yeah, that's coming out much easier. I should have done the last time rather than try and pull it out. I think you live and learn, don't you? There we go, and that's come out perfect. No messing about. You can see a little bit of the bar there, but it hasn't gone right the way through. But that's not a problem because that'll cover up once we coat it in them pens. What I'm going to do now is leave this to dry for at least 48 hours to ensure that everything is fully dry. Or what you could do if you wanted to is pop them in your curing box for about 4 hours, and then that'll fully dry them. Well, these are beautiful and dry now. I had them in my curing box for about 3 hours, and listen, so you can always hear when they're fully dry. Well, I've got used to it, I think. So before I go over them with my new markers, what I need to do is seal them. I've shown this in many, many videos, how important it is to seal your stuff before you go over it with markers and paint, because that way you're guaranteed to get a good result. If not, what happens is you get a dull result because it just absorbs into the thing. Also, this is the best sealer on the market. It's the gloss sealer by Resin, and it's by J Diction, who make Resin. It's water resistant, heat resistant, stain and scratch resistant, and cross-product compatibility. So you can use it on any of these sorts of things, paper, clay, all that sort of stuff. It comes with these sponges, which make life so much easier for putting it on. Now, I'm only going to give this one good coat all over and let that dry for about 3 hours, maybe 4, before I go ahead and paint them. But if I was making something that was waterproof, you would need 2 coats and 24 hours drying in between. And it is waterproof. It makes brilliant vases. I used this the other day to seal some gold leaf. Well, not real gold leaf, artificial gold leaf. And it worked brilliantly. It didn't discolour the gold leaf. It got all my little bits down, and it did a great job. So there's so many things this sealer can do. I want to make sure I get in all these little bits, so popping it on with a sponge should help that. Also, putting it on with a sponge stops you getting any lines in it. There we go, and I can do the back once that's dried. So these are all dry now, and all you need to do is give your pens a bit of a shake. You can hear the ball rattling in there, and then when you've got a new nib like this, just push it, hold it in, and then wait for your colour to flow into your nib. There we go, and once it's flowing freely, then you're ready to go. So I didn't realise I hadn't got my camera turned on. The amount of times I've done that this last few weeks. So this is actually flowing really easily now, and it's giving a great coverage, and that's because we sealed this first. So all I'm doing is allowing the pen to fill in rather than putting any pressure on it. I don't need to put any pressure on it because it auto flows. Then what we need to do is cover that with one coat. Now for this particular snowflake, what I'm going to do is try and only do the front and the back, and then leave the sides white, and that is really going to up the sparkle when it's on the tree or wherever you're putting it. And if you want to get into like the little hole, and you want to make sure you've got a good little area covered in that hole and your nib's not long enough, and all you need to do is squeeze some out onto your silicone mat, get a micro brush, sop it up with that, and then go round on the inside, and that'll pick that up. Now, because this is sitting on top of this sealed surface, it's not absorbing into the actual resincrete itself. It is going to take a little bit longer to dry. Put this to one side where you're not going to damage it, and that way you'll get a really brilliant dry on this as well, because it does go quite hard once it's dry, but it doesn't dry as quick as acrylic paints and things. And every time you use these, shake them as well first, as don't want to be using them without giving them a shake, because you've got that ball in there and that will mix all this up really well to make sure that you've got a consistent coating and covering. I mean, that looks beautiful already. I can't wait to see what that looks like once it's dry. So nice to have different colours as well. So put that to one side, we'll let that dry. Now in this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the tree green and the merry pink. Because the merry is indented, I need to be using the micro brushes as my pen nib to cover that. So now we've got that covered in pink, the merry. All I've got to do is same thing with this green, and then I'm going to personalize these a little bit at the end, which I'll show you once these are all dry. Oh, that is amazing colour. Well, these are all dried now, and I can seal them. They'd probably be alright if you didn't seal them, but I like to seal them so they don't get scratched when you're putting them away each year and then getting things out. So I'm going to use the same sealer as I used because I want a nice gloss finish with it. Dip me sponge in. And then just go over that. Oh, look how metallic that is. That has come out beautiful. And then let that dry. Then I'll show you what I'm going to do next, just to jazz them up a little bit more. Well, these are all lovely and dry now, and I can put the bits on that I want to put on. Because we've sealed both sides of these, I decided not to actually put the colours on the back because I wanted to personalise them like this. But because we've sealed both sides, we can use hot glue on there because it will stick on there really well. Also, what I've got is some of these little stickers as well that I think work brilliantly for this sort of thing. Now, these haven't been printed off on my, or cut out on my Cricut. These are ones that I bought a while ago. I see these things and I think, oh, I've just got to have them. They're so cute. So I'm going to pop that little deer on the back there. And then you could put people's names on these. You could personalise them however you wanted to personalise them. I like putting people's names on things. I always think that that makes it really personal. I got these little embellishments at the pound shop. I think I got about 20 for £1. You never know what you're going to pick up there. So this should glue on there really nicely. Don't need much, just a little bit. But because we've sealed that, that's not going to soak into that resin crete. And now it's going to give you a really nice finish. But look how beautiful those pens have come out. And that is now really, really secure, because we've then gone over those pens with that sealer. So it works brilliantly. I love those pens. Amazing. I'm so pleased they've come out with those. Just pop a ribbon in there and then you can hang these up on your tree or sell them at your craft fairs. Check out the video that I've got coming up now if you want to learn more about how to use Resincrete and how to get the most out of it. Boot that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most of all, enjoy your resin. Take care. Bye.